Google's "Don't Be Evil" image is crucial to keeping those users Googling. Brand goodwill is one reason Google didn't flinch when it threatened to pull its services from China after attacks on its network. Also, the opportunity for Google in China may not be as big as it seems. Another analyst we spoke to says China is not a market that the Chinese government would let Google win anyway. Well, for more on this, let's get to Colin Gillis. He's the director and senior analyst at BGC Partners. And do you agree with that this could actually boost the brand of Google?
Well, I think the most important point, Betty, is that Google's out there trying to maintain its brand, right? They're trying to promote the image that, hey, we're a good company. We saw that they took a proactive step and actually aired one of the first television ads that they've done in a long time on the Super Bowl, which shows how Google products help your life and make your life better, because as the company has grown, it's becoming under increasing scrutiny both in the U.S. and abroad.
But is there only upside to this? Isn't there some downside?
Well, absolutely. In fact, from an analyst angle, it's mostly downside risk, right? There's been a lot of talk about China, and I'm on the exact same page. The China market, while it's sizable, the true opportunity for Google is overstated. And the reality is that even though now there's still some conversations going on, right? The opportunity for Google is going to be even that much more limited in China because of the fact that they've already put a black mark and sort of questioned China's intentions, and perhaps they were trying to crack into their systems. But more important is Europe, right? I mean, international is over half of Google's revenue. It's faster than what's happening in the United States. And if we have concerns about Australia and what's happening in Italy, there's potential for regulation in the UK as well as in France, this could be a major crimp to the downside for Google.
But explain that exactly, because because you're talking about the economy, the economic situation in Australia or in Spain or elsewhere, right?
Well, actually, censorship levels, from the government, they're trying to put controls on what Google's doing with YouTube, monitoring people
in those countries.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so it's risk to operating in these countries, and then there's another whole bucket, which is that what's happening on the economic side, and we're saying that from an investor angle, we have equal concerns to the risks that are associated with the click pricing. Right? Google's revenue is driven by two core formulas: the number of paid clicks and the prices that people pay for them. And historically, we've seen both those metrics have been growing in the last couple of quarters, but we're concerned that we're going to see a sequential decline happening in the price people are paying for clicks in the March quarter.
Colin, you mentioned before, though, China is still, or Google's still in negotiations with China on this. Essentially, everyone's going to watch what comes out of this. How is Google going to protect the brand? How should they eventually come out of this?
Well, so, I mean, the company's already, positively viewed by many people for taking a stance and saying that, it's more important for us to, protect our users and protect the data than it is, for us to allow censorship to happen, and we're willing to give up this opportunity, and to exit the country completely. So, that was a positive message. But on the other hand, it does raise the point that Google has access to a tremendous quantity of data. I logged into my Google privacy dashboard last night, and, they have my search data, they have all my phone records, they have my Google Talk records, they have video of me on YouTube, they have my profile, my birth date, and my iGoogle profile. Yes. It's a tremendous amount of information.
So privacy is going to be a very big thing when it comes to Google.
Constantly.
Okay, Colin Gillis, thanks so much for joining us on this. We're certainly going to be watching more about what Google does. He's a director, senior analyst at BGC Partners.